Hi, my name is Jeff, I'm a college teacher, and welcome to my videos on self-improvement. Today I will present 4 characteristics found in smart kids. As you will see, these 4 qualities are pretty hard to measure in a standard IQ test, but many researchers now agree that they are better predictors of your child's success at school and in life than his or her IQ. This presentation is based on the bestseller Brain Rules for Babies: How to Raise a Smart and Happy Child from 0 to 5 by John Medina. As Dr. Medina points out, nature controls about 50% of our intellectual horsepower, and environment determines the rest. So this means there are limits to what your kid's brain can do, but it also means his intelligence is influenced by what you do as parents. Today I'll talk about the biological basis of a child's intelligence, and in the next video, we will see what you can do to optimize it. First of all, what is intelligence? Brain scientists essentially describe it as your ability to record information and adapt this new information to unique situations. Of course, these two components are fundamentally linked to our evolutionary need to survive. Even if no intelligence gene has been so far isolated, researchers have found a lot by looking at behavior. They now have tests for infants that can predict their IQs as adults. The 4 essential qualities I will present here are based on these findings. These 4 ingredients of human intelligence are 1. The desire to explore, 2. Self-control, 3. Creativity, and 4. Communication skills. 1. The desire to explore. This may come as a surprise, but your kid's inquisitiveness or desire to explore contributes a great deal to his intellectual success. Thousands of experiments confirm that babies learn about their environment through a series of increasing self-corrected ideas. In fact, they're like scientists. They observe, make predictions, test the predictions, evaluate their tests, and add knowledge to a self-generated growing database. Take a look at your kid. The more inclined she is to explore her environment, the more her intelligence will develop. By the way, this exploratory behavior is also highly prized in the working world. Good ideas tend to make good money, don't they? 2. Self-control. Self-control is part of a range of behaviors psychologists call executive function, which includes planning, problem-solving, and goal-setting. Executive function is a critical component of your kid's intellectual capacity and has been proven to be a better predictor of academic success than IQ. More specifically, as the Stanford Marshmallow experiment has shown, children who could delay gratification for 15 minutes scored 210 points higher in their ACTs than children who lasted 1 minute. Of course, you can train to increase self-control, but genes are clearly involved. Some kids display the behavior earlier, some later, and some struggle with it their entire lives. 3. Creativity. How do brain experts define creativity? Dr. Medina describes it as your ability to perceive new relationships between old things and to come up with something that doesn't currently exist. And it also involves a good dose of risk-taking. How can you predict creativity in a kid? Psychologist Paul Terrence created a 90-minute exam called the Terrence Test of Creative Thinking. It was first given in 1958, and the participants are still being followed today. The score from that test predicts lifetime creative output with a correlation 3 times higher than native IQ can predict. By the way, this test has been translated into 50 languages, has been taken by millions of people, and has become the standard for evaluating creativity in children. 4. Communication skills. No one can argue with the fact that verbal skills are important in human intelligence. Language is what enables you to conceptualize your environment, and as Chomsky has shown, we are born with the capacity to speak any language. At 6 years old, kids know around 6,000 words. Calculated from birth, this means they learn new words at a rate of 3 per day. Even if this capacity is innate, as we will see in the second video, parents can certainly use language to develop their kids' cognitive abilities. What's more, speech is part of the vast world of communication behaviors. In fact, we constantly communicate emotional and social information with our face and body, and the ability to interpret that information is vital to survive and succeed in any human environment. That's why the brain spends so much energy in processing faces. So, nonverbal communication also certainly plays a big role in your kids' intelligence. Here again, parents can enhance this ability by giving their kids a lot of face time. So there you have it, 4 biological elements that play an essential role in your kids' intellectual development, namely the desire to explore, self-control, creativity, and communication skills. In my next video, I will present 3 things you can do to make your kids as smart as their genes allow them to be. Thank you for watching this presentation, and see you soon.